Hello, this is Lacquerography, and this is my wishlist video for May 2024's Polish Pickup. The theme this month is It Came from Outer Space, and the shop opens from May 3rd to May 6th. I've already gone in and made a preliminary wish list. I have 12 items right now sitting in my wish list, so let's just dive right in and take a look at the items that are catching my eye. The first item on my list is by Bee's Knees Lacquer, and this one is called the Daglan. This polish is inspired by House of Flame and Shadow, and it's described as a mid-tone purple base with pink to gold to green aurora shimmer and hollow flakes. So this one really caught my eye this month for a couple of reasons. First of all, I own quite a few polishes by Bee's Knees Lacquer, and I'm finding that a lot of the polishes that I own from them, they tend to be a little bit darker, sometimes quirkier in terms of some wilder color combinations as well as ingredient combinations. There was something about this one where I found that there was such a beauty in its almost simplicity but shimmery perfection. As somebody who owns quite a few Bee's Knees Lacquer polishes, I thought that this color was quite a unique one within my Bee's Knees Lacquer collection, and it's a brand that I've come to absolutely love over the last several years. I also view this one as a really interesting kind of work-appropriate polish as well. I work as an elementary teacher, so I don't really have any rules about what I can and can't wear, but sometimes something a little bit more professional is in order. And for me, a color like this one is actually sort of professional with a twist. There's a lot of interest to this one with that shimmer, as well as the hollow, but yet there seems to be just a little bit of a simplicity about this one that sometimes my Bee's Knees Lacquer polishes doesn't really have. So I really appreciated this one. And I think that it would make a really lovely addition, not just to my collection, but also to my Bee's Knees Lacquer collection. So this one is by Bee's Knees Lacquer, the Daglan. This next one up is by Vanessa Molina, and this one is called Guided by the Light. Right away, such a different feel from that last polish. Inspired by the stellar world of the game Starfield to the sound of Imagine Dragons is a glimpse into the vastness of space, capturing the stunning beauty of the stars and the radiant energy that permeates the cosmos. Guided by the Light is described as a turquoise jelly base with a mix of iridescent and chameleon flakes, aurora pigment, and reflective glitter. And interesting for me to note here that the product size of this one is only 11 milliliters, and there's only 700 of these available. So that's actually something, both the bottle size and also the availability cap there of only 700 of these polishes available before it's considered sold out. Those are both things that I'll have to keep in mind in these last few hours before the shop opens. So there really is just everything about this polish that I love. So first of all, that just dreamy turquoise jelly base, that incredible mix of ingredients, components here with the iridescent and chameleon flakes, the aurora pigment, and the reflective glitter. For me, it's actually the reflective glitter within all of this. I'm such a fan of reflective glitter. I just find that the sparkle that it gives is unlike any other, and I would love to see how this one looks on my nails, out in all different lighting. I think that the sparkle that this one would give off would be just absolutely breathtaking, really. So I love everything about this polish. Now, one thing that is catching me up a little bit, because I know that I love the look of this polish so much, and I mean, right there, that's enough right there for me to just go ahead and purchase this one. But the fact that the product size of this one is 11 milliliters here, and the cost of it is $13. Now, this is a Brazilian maker, and that is actually very common that Brazilian makers do use these smaller bottle sizes. That is totally fine for me. But when I take a look at this and I consider the incredible size of these flakies as well, when I start to look at what the potential cost per manicure would be for me to do, this polish does work out to probably be something a little bit more expensive for me at $13 for 11 milliliters. In my mind, just considering that those flakies do take up a certain amount of real estate in the bottle. But I've got to say, the look of this is just out of this world. I mean, check out the size of those flakies. I mean, it's almost like a light stained glass kind of look as well. This really is stunning and totally unlike anything I have in my collection. So I may just, turn a blind eye to the cost of this one and just make the leap, but it is something I'll have to take a look at and see how my budget shakes out by the time the shop opens. So this one is by Vanessa Molina, Guided by the Light. This next one up is an offering by Cadillacquer, and it's called Calvin. Calvin is inspired by the movie Life, and it's described as a light blue magnetic in a red, orange, yellow Aurora shimmer base. And unlike the previous one, there is no availability cap. So in this case, what this means is that this maker can probably produce, at this point, an unlimited number of this item while the shop is open from May the 3rd to May the 6th. So this one is such an interesting magnetic polish. Magnetic polishes have been all over the place recently, and I actually own quite a few magnetic polishes. I do find right now in my life, I've been incredibly busy, so I haven't had the extra time to take to apply magnetic polishes. I do anticipate that changing a little bit in the weeks to come with the school year starting to draw to a close at the end of June for me. So that's a great thing in terms of me getting quite a bit of use out of my magnetics in the months ahead. But there's something so unique about this one. That warmer base with the cooler light blue magnetic pull is something that I believe is completely unique right now in my collection. In scouring social media a little bit to see some further swatch photos as well as some swatching videos, I did happen to catch, and I'm not sure which swatcher it was, I did happen to catch one of the swatchers mention that this one was actually a highly reactive and responsive magnetic. So, that for me also was very appealing. The fact that it has a stronger, perhaps, magnetic pigment rather than a subtle one means that I should be able to achieve really successful and striking results with perhaps a little bit less time and effort than perhaps a magnetic that is a little bit less responsive. So, I love the originality of this one. This color combination is really quite beautiful. This polish really did rather catch me in my tracks when I saw it on the landing page. So this one is by Cadillacquer, Calvin. This next polish up is by Camellia Nails, and this one is called Mysterious Uranus or Mysterious Uranus, however you choose to pronounce the name of the planet at this point. This polish is inspired by Uranus and the many mysteries this planet holds. This polish is described as having a violet jelly base with a vibrant green turquoise blue shimmer, fine silver holographic glitters, and silver reflective glitters. Again, this one is a smaller bottle size at 11 milliliters, but also that something that's catching my eye here is there's only 200 of these ones available. And that's actually something that I will very much have to watch out for. 200 bottles available is a small cap at any time. And I do know that Camellia Nails has been rather popular as of late in a lot of the collaboration websites and things like that. So if I do want to purchase this one, I will have to make my purchase right away when the shop opens on May the 3rd at 11 o'clock Eastern Daylight Time. So Camellia Nails is actually a brand that I have grown to love in the last 6 months or so. I've been purchasing quite a few of their offerings specifically through polishpickup, and several of the offerings that I've been purchasing have been thermals actually. It seems like thermals are a bit of a specialty of this brand, which actually makes sense, also considering the name Camellia Nails. The fact that this one is not a thermal really appeals to me. I'd love to try out different finishes by this brand because I've already fallen in love with their thermals. They're usually very highly responsive and very high quality. And I would love to try an additional formula by this brand. But not only that, this polish just looks absolutely breathtaking. I've seen a little bit of video footage for this one on social media, and just that sparkle and the shift of this one was really unlike, I think, anything I've ever seen. I was taking a look at the YouTube swatch video by Caitlin Swatches, but also her Instagram posts where she also had some video footage. Just that sparkle, especially I think, there's the hollow, there's the shimmer, but it was also that reflective glitter, which, as I said earlier, it remains a favorite component of mine. There was just something so special and dazzling about this polish that I think that this is actually one of my top picks this month. So this one is by Camellia Nails, Mysterious Uranus. This next one up is by Cuticula, and it is called Extraterrestrial. This polish is inspired by extraterrestrials. Extraterrestrial is described as a deep green jelly base loaded with orange, red, green, gold, large particle shifting shimmer. And at this point, there is no availability cap on this one. So actually, this one has been a little bit of a slow riser on my wish list, but it actually might be rising all the way to my shopping cart. First of all, this sort of colorway of a green with a warm shimmer has been a favorite colorway of mine for the last probably since last fall. So really for the last maybe 6 to 9 months. I know that I've purchased a few in this green base with a warm shimmer. So in that case, I'll have to be a little bit careful with this one. And that's why at first this one did not quite make my wish list. But the more I've been taking a look at this one, and I also did catch another swatcher's video. Again, I cannot recall who made this comment here on YouTube, but somebody did mention that this large particle shimmer was in fact so unusually large that it actually gave off the effect of microflakes on the nails. And I thought, that would be a really beautiful, interesting addition, maybe capping off my constant purchasing of this kind of a colorway, just with something that really is quite different, this different quality of large particle shimmer. I love this colorway. I could see myself getting a ton of use out of a polish like this one. Green is one of my favorite colors in life, so right there that appeals to me. I find that in spring, I crave all the greens. I live in Canada. We do tend to have a very dark and gray winter. In this case, we had a very gray winter, actually. Not a whole lot of natural sunlight, it seemed. A lot of cloudy, overcast days. So I've been craving lush greens, especially since I live in a 4-season climate where very often we have a lot of snow and ice and gray and that kind of thing. At springtime, greens always appeal to me, all different types. But especially in summer and fall, I can see this one really appealing. This one looks to me like sunshine peeking through leaves with that large particle shimmer. And it also reminds me of the early change in color of leaves in the fall in my area. Also, I'm sometimes drawn to greens like this one in the winter time. Somehow those shimmers also look a little bit like glowing embers on the nails. So this one has really snuck up on me. It is appealing more and more, and I think it actually might be ending up in my shopping cart when the shop opens this Friday. So this polish is by Cuticula, and it's called Extraterrestrial. This next polish up is by Garden Path Lacquer, and it's called Centuries Secret Societies. In the description box here it says, this month I was not only inspired by images from space, but also the song that immediately popped into my head when I heard the theme, Space Dog by Tori Amos. This one is described as a white jelly base filled with a strong red-orange shifting shimmer and a sparkling rosy coppery microglitter, a perfect, not boring neutral. Now actually that right there, a perfect, not boring neutral, that's actually what my eyes came upon right when I came across this polish on the landing page. It looks like such an interesting neutral polish. It looks like something that I could really wear 4 seasons a year. Everything about this one really appeals to me in that way. It would be very versatile in my life. But not only that, this one really sounds like a finish that I've grown to love from this maker. The idea that it has this strong shifting shimmer as well as a micro glitter component. I have been loving that look lately from Garden Path Lacquer. And I do believe that this one falls into that category, matching some other polishes that I've bought in completely different colorways than this one. I think that this one is a sure add to my list because of its versatility. I think it's absolutely gorgeous, and it's a maker who is creating these incredible finishes that I've been loving so much. So this one is by Garden Path Lacquer, Centuries Secret Societies. This next one up is by MJ Lacquer, and it's called Superstar. This polish was inspired by images of the red supergiant star. They're classified as the largest stars in the universe in terms of volume. This one is a red to gold thermal with gold metallic flakes, color shifting iridescent flakes, and gold red reflective glitters. And for this one as well, there are only 250 of these available. So if I do choose to purchase this one, I'll have to consider purchasing early. This one caught my eye in another swatcher's video here on YouTube. It was the incredible Jackie Bodick. And Jackie, I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly. This one looked so beautiful on her. I can't even really describe just how well I thought this polish suited this particular swatcher. It kind of had my jaw dropping. And I really loved everything about this one. There is so much happening in this polish, and I find it absolutely beautiful and very unique to my collection. So this one is a thermal with a really interesting shift for me. It goes from red to gold. I love these flakes in here as well, the gold metallic flakes. I love how they kind of blend in that gold state, but yet they contrast a little bit more in the red state. I love that heat kind of look that it gives off the nails, and the iridescent flakes as well, and the reflective glitter. It's a bit of a kitchen sink polish in this way, and there's just something so beautiful and bright, and it's all the sunshine that I'm craving right now too. I can see myself being drawn to a polish like this one really from June all the way probably to November for me in my life. Perhaps even beyond. This one is so beautiful. Absolutely, this one evokes sunshine and heat in that way. I know it's inspired by the red supergiant star, but this one also evokes for me changing fall leaves too. So I can see myself getting probably 6 months wear out of this one. I just think it's completely unique, and I was absolutely floored by how beautiful this one looked on the swatcher, Jackie Bodick here on YouTube. It was an instant add to my wish list once I saw it on her, and then came to take a look at the images of this one on the Polish Pickup website here. So this one is by MJ Lacquer Superstar. This next one up is by Night Owl Lacquer, and it's called Heart of a Dying Star. This polish was inspired by collapsing stars. This polish is described as having a clear base filled with red reflective glitter pigment, black metallic flakes, and indigo violet red shifting crystal chameleon flakes. So a lot happening here in this polish. This one is absolutely on my wish list because of its originality. I've really never seen anything quite like this polish. This is not anything I could ever consider recreating. I just think this is such a beautiful polish execution of the inspiration, and such a unique offering. It leaves me a little bit speechless. Now, something I do have to consider though is I have to consider how much I might wear a polish like this one. I think this one really is stunningly beautiful, and I think it would likely have a whole lot of versatility with this clear base as well as all these components to it. I think that this one would be a really interesting topper as well. I just find right now I'm not pulling toppers as much as I would hope to. And so that is something that I'll have to take a look at in terms of this polish, but this one really is so special and unique. And actually, I think the name of this one is so poetically beautiful. I think this is a really special offering this month. So this one is by Night Owl Lacquer, Heart of a Dying Star. This next polish up is by Painted Polish, and it's called To the Moon and Back. This polish is inspired by the moon. This polish is described as a periwinkle crelly featuring a champagne mix of gold and silver reflective glitters, pink galaxy holographic glitters, and micro holographic flakies. And there are only 400 of these ones available. Now this one is an interesting one for me. I've noticed lately that I have been buying a few blue polishes, but I very much have kind of gaps in my blue polish collection. It's kind of a weird story there. Like, a lot of my local sports teams that I like to support do have blue as their color. You know, my local hockey team, Toronto Maple Leafs, are in the hockey playoffs right now. Go Leafs, go. So I've been actually looking to pull a lot of my blue polishes lately. And I am finding as sort of a subtle way to be a hockey fan while at work, without wearing a t-shirt or a jersey with a hockey logo on it. But anyway, all that story aside, blues. I am noticing that I've got a little bit of a gap in my collection in some different shades of blue. Shades like this, I'm missing. I love this color. I have no idea why I don't have more of it in my collection. I'm really not sure. I love this color. And it actually kind of surprised me when I was taking a look at my collection in forming this wish list that I don't really have anything that looks quite like this. And the addition here of the mix of reflective glitters, that is absolutely a draw for me here. The sparkle within this would be jaw-dropping, I'm sure. But also the holographic glitters and the holographic flakies. I really do think that this would be a show-stopping dazzler of a blue. And I know that this base color is a base color that I don't have a whole lot of, which really surprised me in my collection. So really everything about this one, it does fill a little bit of a need in my polish collection as well, if you can call it a need, but it does for me. This one is very likely going to be added to my shopping cart when the shop opens. So this one is by Painted Polish to the Moon and Back. This next one up is by Polish for Days, and this one is called Hey Mercury, Can You Not? And this polish is inspired by Mercury in retrograde. This polish is described as a deep berry purple red base with a strong red orange gold multi-chrome shimmer and a matching red orange gold magnetic shimmer that can be magnetized if you'd like. It does go on to say that due to the two pigments matching, even when you magnetize this polish, you will still have the striking multi-chrome shimmer remaining. Wearing it non-magnetized doesn't look like a traditional magnetic, just a glowy, shifty shimmer. So magnetizing it is a fun option to make this two polishes in one, but not a requirement. And actually, I thought that all was a very interesting addition to the description. I really appreciated that on the part of the maker. So thank you, Polish for Days, for that really outstanding, detailed description of what this polish will be like if and when it ends up making its way home to me via my shopping cart. Anyway, just right away, I thought that this was a beautiful, eye-catching polish. But the idea of that depth and interest to this red, I really don't own very many magnetic reds at all. I think I own one in my collection. Red is actually a really recent new love in my collection. I've always loved red on other people. I always found that just being a teacher, an elementary teacher, actually teaching primary age kids, I do a lot of hand washing through my day, and I work a lot with my hands. So I do find that I generally tend to chip my polish a little bit faster than average because of my hands-on job. And I don't know what it is about me. I love the look of red nails. Just with my own trend towards chipping my polish quite a bit throughout my workday, I always used to shy away from red polishes because I love the look of polished and sophisticated look of red polish on perfectly manicured hands. And very often my perfect manicures don't remain that way. So that's part of why red is not a huge part of my collection, but it is growing rather rapidly in the last couple of years. I just think this one is a really gorgeous shade of red, this deeper kind of red, a little bit cooler, a little bit more purple leaning, but yet a little bit of a warmer shimmer that goes with it, even though it is a reasonably matching magnetic with base color and shimmer. Like all those things are rather coordinating rather than contrasting. I don't know. I'm really drawn to the color. I'm drawn to the fact that it's an interesting take on a magnetic, and I really appreciate just the whole package with this one. I think that it's really beautiful, and I think I would get quite a lot of use out of a polish like this. So this one is by Polish for Days. Hey Mercury, Can You Not? This next one on my wish list is a second one by Polish for Days. This one is their top coat in crystalline diamond. This one is inspired by Galaxy of Stars, and this one is described as a holographic flake top coat, not just a topper. You can put this over any polish you want to add a little sparkle without the extra dry time. And I also appreciate that it says you do not have to put another layer of top coat on top of this product. I also really appreciate that it goes on to say you do not have to put another layer of top coat on top of this product unless you need multiple coats of top coat for the finish or if you want an extra glossy finish. This one dries to a glossy, slightly satin finish, and this product may settle over time, but a good shake will bring it back to life. Again, I'm really appreciative of this maker's really detailed sort of instructions and descriptions this month. This is really helping my decision-making process quite a bit. Now, actually, I am really intrigued by this one. I love the fact that this is kind of an all-in-one topper and top coat. Part of why I'm not using my topper collection as much as I would like to is just the extra time involved. As I said, I am a busy teacher. I teach a little bit of a distance away from my home as well. So I'm finding this year that I'm just short on time generally. So the fact that this is a time-saving topper and top coat kind of built in absolutely appeals to me. I think that's a beautiful idea. I also appreciate the honesty on the part of the maker that it's actually a slightly satin type finish, which I think would be rather beautiful too. But also if you wanted the extra glossy look, you could layer a glossy top coat on top of it to get an extra glossy look. But I also have to say, I love the way that this topper looks on top of Hey Mercury, Can You Not? I think that this, as a duo, it isn't marketed as a duo and it isn't actually even available as a duo here. But if I treat it as so, if I purchase both items, I really like the look of this. I think this could be a really interesting sort of 1-2 purchase here in terms of the offerings by Polish for Days this month. So this one really appeals to me. This one is a top coat by Polish for Days, and this one is in crystalline diamond. Now this final item on my wish list this month is actually probably my top pick right now. And this one is kind of a sentimental top pick. This one is by Rogue Lacquer Moonstone. This polish is inspired by Moon Rock and also the Moonstone actual gemstone. This one is a creamy grayish base with a strong blue-purple slowly shimmer. I kind of wonder if that's supposed to be glowy shimmer, but I'm just reading it as it says. It says slowly shimmer. Maybe I'll just read it as a blue-purple shimmer, as a strong blue-purple shimmer, leaving out that additional word. Anyway, this one, first of all, was beautiful. And then when I saw that this one was called Moonstone, this one just leapt immediately onto my wish list. So my birthday is in June, and I'm very lucky to have a number of different stones that tend to be associated with my birth month: alexandrite, pearl, and also moonstone. I'm not really any sort of an expert on birthstones and gemstones and things like that, but I have known that those three have been kind of associated with June for quite a while. I do have a number of moonstone-inspired polishes in my collection, so I am in that sense a little bit of a collector specifically of moonstone polishes. Not exclusively so, but I do have a small and hopefully now growing collection. There's no cap on this product, so this one is absolutely going to be in my shopping cart because I will be purchasing this month from Polish Pickup. Anyway, this one will be a sure add to cart and will be added to my collection. And who knows, this one, if it arrives in time, this one may actually end up being my birthday polish this year. Who knows? So not only was this one a really beautiful, gorgeous pick for me this month, but it also is at the very top of my list for sentimental reasons as well, having a June birthday. So this one is by Rogue Lacquer, and this one is my top pick this month. This one is Moonstone. So that's it for my wish list this month. I was really impressed this month with the makers' work on this theme. I think there was so much variety. I really expected to see a lot of dark polishes that looked like galaxies in terms of dark with maybe blues and purples, lots of holographic flakes or holographic glitter representing stars. Like I sort of expected something very literal, and I was really blown away by the variety that was offered this month. In fact, I'm actually shocked that my wish list is as big as it is. I really wasn't anticipating that. But the makers have just gone above and beyond this month. I really can't say enough. I have 12 really strong items here on my wish list. I don't know exactly what I'm going to do here when it comes time to purchase, other than the fact that I know that I'll be adding the Rogue Lacquer Moonstone to my list. This could actually be a rather full shopping cart for me this month when the shop opens on May the 3rd. Polish Pickup opens this month on May the 3rd and runs until May the 6th. The shop opens on May the 3rd at 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern Daylight Time, and that's really critical for me. I do have a number of items on my wish list with very small availability caps. So that's it for my wish list this month. I'm wondering, are you shopping Polish Pickup this month? What items are catching your eye? Please feel free to add all your comments below. We can continue on the conversation. If you enjoy this type of wish listing video, please consider giving this video a like. It lets me know that you're interested in content like this, and moving forward, I'll know to continue producing content similar to this. Also, if you enjoy nail-related content in general, please consider subscribing. I do release nail-related content as often as I can, and by subscribing, you won't miss out on any of the fun. Thank you so much for joining me this month. Happy shopping. Hopefully I'll see you again in the next one. Take care. Bye.